Is that still Mary Had a Little Lamb? Does it feel a little bit different? I think I saw Dave over there. You started to move in your seat there, man. I didn't see you clapping on the 4-4, but when this started, it started going. Is this still Mary Had a Little Lamb? Yes, it is, but it's in the blue stylings of Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's the exact same standard tune, but it feels different. I watched you when this one came up. You guys started to do some of this. There was some of this. Some of you old-timers are doing some of that happening, right? And in the exact same way, Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, riffs and solos off of this standard tune in a way that welcomes and includes those who had been compromised in one way or another. And how does Isaiah do it? Does he give a list of duties or things to do or hoops to jump through? No, not at all. Instead, for Isaiah, the great unifier is Sabbath. Isaiah is saying it does not matter if you were previously excluded or compromised. It does not matter if you are male or female. It does not matter if you are gay or straight. It does not matter if you are black or white or something else. It does not matter if you come from a long line of failures. It doesn't matter if you are a failure. It doesn't matter if you have some great plan for your future. It doesn't matter if you are rich. It doesn't matter if you are poor. What matters, according to Isaiah, is that you are disengaged from the producer-consumer rat race of this world. What matters, he says, is that you operate in justice, in mercy, and in compassion. Not competition, not achievement, not production, not acquisition. In Isaiah, there's no mention of purity. Is the standard baseline tune there? Yes, of course it is. But as Isaiah expands and riffs and solos, gives some color, gives some nuance, all he talks about is this work stoppage, this neighborly pause to be humane. So what does all of that mean for you and I? I think it's this. Sabbath is a realm of time where the goal is not to have, but to be. Not to own, but to give. Not to control, but to share. Not to subdue, but to be in accord. Life goes wrong when the control of space and the acquisition of things of space become our sole concern. For Sabbath is holiness in time. So what Sabbath does, my friends, is strip you of all your failures and all of your successes. And that's a big deal, because for many of us, we hang on to one of those two things. We feel defined by one of those two things. But Sabbath says, none of that really matters. Sabbath is the refusal to be defined by cultural expectations. Why? Because they just don't matter. Sabbath is like smelling salts. Once a week, you wake up again to reality, to what is important, to the things and to the people that actually matter, because Sabbath is the ultimate remix. It includes whatever mess you're in and whatever mess you've made into God's redemptive song. And the things that you felt left you outsiders or disqualified from God's love and rest really have no power over you. You are allowed to do this. Sabbath says that you are allowed to stop.
The Examine is a way of praying that is rooted in our experience. It's basically like a spiritual high-low of your week. And this is how you do it. Every Sabbath, when you enter your time of quiet, take stock of your week by asking yourself a set of these two questions. What am I most grateful for from this week? And what am I least grateful for? What was life-giving about this week? Or what was draining? Where did I feel a deep connection with God or others? Or where did I lose that sense of connection? Now, as you think about the times where you felt grateful, or when you felt life and joy, or where you felt connection, thank God for the ways that He has been present to you in these moments. Open yourself up to receive these moments as God's gifts to you, as evidence of His love and care. And as you think about what was draining or difficult, or when you think about the times you felt disconnected and alone, allow all these worries to come to rest in the presence of God. You might want to use your imagination and think about God looking at all of these things with the eyes of love, just like a loving parent might look at the attempts of their child to manage a chaotic and busy life. I suspect that as you do this, you'll find that you are giving yourself a much harder time about them than God is. Receive forgiveness if you need it. Allow God's grace to erase the hold these things have on you. And if there's something you need from God to help you do better the next week, more kindness, more generosity, more self-control, ask for it. And if over time you notice the same kinds of situations come up, maybe there's a theme like a relationship that continually touches something in you, or a particular situation that causes you a lot of stress, let your awareness become the doorway for God to enter into and bring healing.